If you are wondering whether it is a good idea, a possible idea, a plausible idea to date long distance while in a Christian relationship, you're going to want to watch this video because Onika and I did it for 15 months and, well, before like we came to the same place. And we're about to get married in like 3 months. Woo! Right? So, well, I guess I just gave it away that it's possible. But it's what we did that made it possible. And we just want to share, the different points that we took that might be helpful to you if you're looking to do the same thing. And then also not necessarily about our relationship, but like the individual work. Because I think that's what really made the difference. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So, we're going to start with the story of how we met first to give some context of how this happened. Onika, you definitely have to share this story because I'm going to mess it up.
He messes it up every time.
Not every time.
We both met on a trip in Atlanta, to Atlanta. We were both in a development program with my church at the time, a church that Cleveland served in, and we were going to attend their conference called Thrive, and that was in October.
Yep.
October 2023. And so, we got there together. Cleveland was, chatting with a bunch of people, but I saw him the first time. He was talking to somebody else. And I was like, oh, he looks familiar, because I feel like I saw him on Zoom one time, and I was like, oh, he's cute. But then when he started talking, it sounded like he was married and had 3 kids. So I was like, I just brushed it off. I was like, well, never mind. But I saw him, and I think, the girl that was sitting down, kind of was like introducing us. But I was like, hey, what's your name? Or he asked what's my name. I told him my name, and then he told me his name, and then he asked my age, and then I shared my age, and it was like a little light bulb when we realized that we were around the same age, because everyone in that program was like, a little bit older.
Like twice as older
than us. So it was kind of like a, oh my gosh, like moment. Like, I didn't know there was someone else that shared the same level of growth or desire to lead and love like the way God aspired for us to be. So that was like a big takeaway moment. And then the end of the conference had came, and I remember seeing him talking to some people at the front. I was like, oh, I skipped over an important part. Before we went back from lunch, I saw him talking to someone, and I was walking by, and I caught him in the corner of my eye. And I felt like I was supposed to go to him and say something, and I wasn't. But I just turned back, and I went up to him, and I was like, "Hey, we should connect."
Yeah.
Mind you, he was in the middle of a conversation, and then he paused, and he was like, "Sure." And then he gave me his phone. I put my number in, and then shortly after, he texted me his Cleveland, and towards the end of the conference, I was outside with my girls. And 45 minutes had passed since the time I saw him inside. So it was a good minute. And I ended up running into him. Or he ran into me.
Yeah, I ran into you.
While we were waiting for our Uber. And you can share that part. That part you get right.
I was walking. I can't remember why I was walking in that direction again. I feel like I was walking back. For some reason, I was walking toward my car, and then I started to backtrack because of some reason. I went to go meet somebody or talk to somebody else or whatever.
Not that I remember.
Okay, see, this is
you were going straight to your car. Let me finish then. You were going straight.
No, I remember why.
Why?
See, I knew it.
Why?
Because the day before, I parked in the parking lot across from the church. And I walked there again, thinking my car was there, but it was the next day. And we had to park all the way down where that dirt lot was. So I went there thinking my car was there. And I was like, oh, wait, I didn't park here today. And I was walking back from there. I knew I was backtracking for some. I'm like,
I didn't see you when you did
Making me think I'm tripping.
I didn't see when you did the backtracking because I had her going in the Uber.
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen that.
So when you kept talking about it, I'm like, that never happened. What are you talking about?
Stick to your story, fellas. Stick to your story.
Anyways. So yeah, I asked him like what was he up to, and he said he was going to a dinner with some friends, and I was like, oh. And then he's like, you can come. And I was like, I'm not invited. Like, I don't want to come mess up nobody's dinner.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you can come. I'll send you the address. It's not too far. And I was like, okay. And so he sent me the address. On the way in the Uber, he texted me. He was like, hey, do you need a ride? Because I told him I was going back to the hotel to change my shoe. And he came and picked me up at the hotel because it's like 7 minutes from where we were. And then the place was like another 7 minutes. I think the hotel was 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and then the place was 7 minutes.
If that.
We got to the restaurant. And basically, on the drive, it was a quick drive, so we didn't talk much. But we got into the restaurant. We're all chatting, talking. And I think at one point he answered a phone call.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's probably his girlfriend calling him. And
I was
just there chatting with everybody else. It was a good conversation,
making
good
statements.
food.
Assuming?
Oh my gosh.
If you know, you know.
And then he came back and we started chatting, and then we left. And then on the car ride back, we ended up talking a little bit more. We started realizing we had a lot of similar interests. Like, we both like to walk. We both love nature. We both listening to Miles Monroe and some other, like, speakers that are really, like, growth and educational and development.
Yeah.
And we ended up chatting in the car. He ended up driving to the hotel, parked in the parking lot.
I dropped her off.
And we talked. You didn't drop me off yet, but we talked in the car for, like, close to 45 minutes.
Yep.
And yeah, I remember just sitting there like, why is he asking me so much questions? Like, he just kept badgering me. Like, I didn't even like, not the right word, but like, he kept going like back to back to back. I would answer next question. And I barely even got to ask you any questions. I felt like I didn't even like know much about you by the time like I was leaving.
You were talking though. So
I was talking the whole time. Like, my mouth was tired. Like, that's how much I felt like I was talking. And then he walked in, gave him a little side hug. And then, or you gave me a little side hug. Okay. And then I went to the room, and yeah, I was telling my girls, they know who they are. I was like, yeah, that conversation was so good. Like, I just feel like, I just remember like being very positive. I just thought that was so good, like so good. I didn't really think anything of it honestly, but I just remember like, oh my God, like that was a good conversation.
Yeah. So that was good. That was a good story. That's pretty much how it happened. I don't think either of us were really like looking for anything. Yeah. We were just like, they seem cool. We should stay connected. You're a very interesting person. Let me ask some questions. And I really was genuinely curious. Like, I wasn't trying to spit game or nothing. I was legit like, tell me more about that. Why'd you do that? Yeah. Like, what makes you think that way? Like,
at one point, I looked at his face and I was like, dude, you look tired. You should go get some rest. Because I think you said you had an 8-hour drive back.
Yeah, I drove, yeah.
And it was getting late. I'm like, you sure you're not ready to go home? You look like you're getting tired now.
I was genuinely curious, though.
Yeah.
But also, ladies, and we're going to get to the long distance part right after this. Mm-hmm. But positioning yourself in a way that I was like, okay, let me, let's go out to dinner or whatever. Where you wasn't just like, he don't see me, and and just like position yourself, make yourself seen, And anyway, but yeah, we continued to talk after that. Like, we just had a friendship. We would help each other with like our business goals and things like that. And then because we had to do it that way, we weren't like going out on dates or anything because we were in 2 different states. Mm-hmm. She was in upstate New York in Buffalo, and I was in Maryland right outside of Washington, D.C. And we were like, okay, this is like a long distance friendship. But it didn't take long before we realized that we became each other's like favorite topic, and we were always talking. And then also we had a few hiccups there too, where she's a very decisive person. I'm not as decisive. So she knew what she wanted after a certain period of time, and I was still like, But she got me together. We might have to make a whole nother video on that. Well, actually, I think that might be one of the points that we cover in this, of how we actually made this work. And not being decisive is not one of them. So, we have like 6 points. You want to get to the points?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Of how we made this work for 15 months in a Christian dating relationship. And Christian is important because we have certain standards. We have certain boundaries, ways we see dating and marriage that might be different than what popular culture does. Yeah. So it adds another level of nuance and complexity to long distance dating. So that's why we kind of want to make that distinction there. But the first one, I don't know, Lika, I'll let you take this, is know your worth. What does that mean?
Yeah, that means a lot.
Okay.
I think before we started dating, I had a very good level of like who I am. Like I know I was of value, and I carried a lot. Like I knew that I was a valuable person to anybody who I spoke to or whose life, not in a cocky way, but like I was taking care of myself and I was investing in myself. And so like I knew that there was certain work that I was putting in to help make me be a better person. Like I was always just focused on like, oh, I want to be a better me or a higher version of myself. And so I think as that evolved, especially when we started dating, my worth started to look different, because knowing your worth is different when you're by yourself versus when you're with somebody. And so when one of the things that helped me a lot before we even started dating was at least having a good foundation of my worth. Because initially my worth was just tied to doing things. My worth was my performance, is how well can I get something done, or how good can I do something. It was about work. It wasn't about my identity in Christ. And that's what really shifted it for me, was when I started learning that I am already worthy through Christ Jesus, and I don't need to work for my worth or to prove my worth to anybody. So even when we were dating, I didn't have to do that. I was just being myself. When we met, I was just being myself. I didn't have to put on a facade or put on a show or work twice as hard. I think when you know your worth, you are a little bit more confident in how you speak, how you walk, and how you talk to people. And so I think that helped me a lot. And so that would be my number one point, is knowing your worth. But like, many people might say, well, how do I know my worth? And honestly, it starts in the scripture. It starts in your identity. Is who does God say that you are? And Cleveland always asked this question in his like clarity class around, take a couple of minutes of silence and like ask God, what do you call me by name? Like, what do you usually say?
Jesus, what do you call me?
Yeah. Jesus, what do you call me? What is my name? And I remember when I asked him that, like this was even more recent for me. I asked him that, and he was like, you are the daughter of a king. And that's like one of the things where I pull now my worth from. But back then, my worth was just my understanding of the scriptures and who God said I was. I am light. I am love. I am made worthy through Christ Jesus. So that's kind of what I pulled on. And then I just walked that out more practically by exuding the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah. And a really key point that made the bond so close when we started dating, even long distance, was the fact that you did know that, because it made her 10 times more attractive to me, because I'm like, okay, she knows what she wants. She knows who she is. She's not trying to please anyone. She doesn't get her value from me or being with me. She's good with me or without me. And for someone who also has goals, a vision, you want to attract somebody like that, because you know that they're not going to be hanging on your coattails. They have their own thing going. So like, And I think most men who are comfortable with themselves, who do know who they are, who do know where they're going in life, that is a very attractive trait to those types of men. And it was part of the reason why it forced me to make a decision. Like, because you were like, look.
Yeah. And that goes into our next point of just being intentional.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about is basically we were friends for like 3-ish months, 4-ish months. And it got to a point where he started doing little things after we like explicitly agreed that we were just going to be friends, because I liked him, he liked me, but we both decided we did not want to take it any further at that point.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do long distance.
And I was not trying to do long distance. So we were just like, we'll just be friends, and it was still like fruitful. But it got to a point where we had to explicitly say that.
Yeah.
Then it got to another point where he started doing things that were not friends. Like, that's not what friends do. Like, there was 2 explicitly things that I ain't gonna call you out on. But actually, I'm gonna call you out on one of them. One of them was, I remember I got sick around Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And I told him, and he, like, Instacarted me, like, Gatorade and medicine. And I was just like, I remember, like, without even asking, I just remember, like, okay. I mean, I told you I was fine. But it was one of those things where I was like, my eyes started growing smaller. I'm like, I got to start thinking about this. And he did something else. And I was like, yeah, this is not good. This is bad. He is trying to play games on me. You say we're just friends and you're trying to like treat me like more than a friend.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I had to have a conversation with him. I remember he had texted me, like, we were on a call together. And he was like, how you doing? I was like, not good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember what you said, but I remember saying, like, emotionally, like, I'm not good.
Yeah.
And we had a call, and I basically said, hey, like, I honestly like you, but I don't like the way that things have been going, because you're not treating me like a friend, and I don't want my feelings to get intertwined in this. And then this starts to be a situation. Like, I was like, I absolutely don't want that. I think it would be good for us to take some space. I need it. Just some time without speaking for months. I don't know how long we might need.
Ever.
Or forever.
You were probably like, I'm done.
I was ready. I was like, I can't do this, because it was just making me emotionally so, like, it was a little bit of a trigger, because I'm like, I thought we agreed on this. But anyways, it was that moment when I told him that, he's like, yeah, you're right. I would be foolish if I let you go. And then that's when he actually asked to date me, and we agreed we were going to date in long distance, and we made certain ground rules after that moment. But actually, I was taken aback. I didn't think he was going to say that. I was actually thinking, okay, this is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to go into it, talk, and we're going to go our separate ways and be good.
It ain't that easy.
But I was like, I remember when you said it, I was like in shock. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So that goes back to knowing your worth and being intentional.
Yeah.
Having those hard conversations is going to save you a lot of time.
Yes, absolutely. So point number 1, know your worth. Point number 2, be intentional. And like, fellas, you can't, if you like her, you're not going to be able to fool. Because I was trying not to be that, and I couldn't help myself. I was just like, I just want to do this. I just wanted to do it. So
I remember I said, do you do this with all your friends? And you're like, no, maybe. I was like,
yeah. So that intentionality she took the time to have a hard conversation. Well, we both did, because we got on the call. We were texting.
Yeah.
And then we like, hey, let's get on the call and work this out. So that definitely is something that you have to do, because if you try to breeze over the stuff that's been like little nicks and chinks in your armor, little paper cuts, they add up over time, and it could really, really make a relationship not do well when you don't have a time to physically reconvene and be together, where literally communication is all you have. Communication cannot be compromised by not being intentional. Okay, number 3 is invest in your personal growth. Now, this has unique significance to our story, because we were literally at a conference when we met, which was about personal growth. But anyhow, if anyone is considering doing a long distance relationship, you have to be focused on being better than you were yesterday. If that is not something that is important to you,
Amen.
I don't think you will have as high of a success rate as you could if you were focused on that, because you're going to come across new challenges at least once a month.
Yes.
Probably at least once a month, where you're going to have to make adjustments.
Yeah.
You're going to have to communicate effectively. You're going to have to do pivots. You're going to have to do a whole lots of stuff. And if you aren't focused on growing as an individual, because you can only love somebody to the level that you are at, then it's going to be very, very challenging. And I think that was something that was big for us, because we not only were focused on it, but we had put money into it.
Yeah.
And it showed a level of dedication and seriousness to growth. And one that was attractive for me, because knowing that someone has a growth mindset, because you're going to be a completely different person 5-10 years from now than you are right now. I'm going to be a different person. She's going to be a different person. If we are continually growing and having that mindset, somebody's going to get outgrown.
Yeah.
So that was really, really, really key for us. Anything you want to add?
No,
for that?
I think you hit it all, babe.
Okay, cool. Number 4 is set clear and explicit boundaries. Spicy. I'm going to let you take this one, babe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's important.
Cut. No, I'm kidding. I'll keep going.
All right. No, that was important. Setting clear and explicit boundaries. So when we first started dating, we kind of were feeling out, like, how would we see each other? And the first trip Cleavon made up to Buffalo in the winter or fall. It was really winter. It was supposed to be spring, but it was really
Buffalo.
Winter.
It's always winter.
And we were supposed to be. We met there the first time, and I think we had certain boundaries set before he came, where obviously we're not going to sleep in the same room, same bed, like nothing like that sort. Or
because we were abstaining.
Yes, we were
practicing
marriage. Abstinence till marriage. And so, like, there were certain boundaries that we had to set for that sleeping arrangement, but also, like, just personal space and what that would look like. And I'm not going to lie, it was very hard and challenging because, like, our first, like, date, we went to, like, Niagara Falls. So we, like, try to do outdoor stuff. Like, we were outdoor most of the time. So when we got back, we were just sleeping. He was sleeping on the couch. God bless him, because that couch was not as big enough for his height.
No.
Or
I was like, my feet were like, I was diagonal.
So yeah, we had to set specific boundaries for that. Now the problem was, the more we started seeing each other, the more boundaries that needed to be set that we didn't even know that needed to be set. Yeah. So we started, like, exploring, like, different ways we would communicate or build intimacy with each other, and we're like, whoa, hold on. And, you know, we've made our missteps along the way. Yeah. Not to the point where we didn't, you know, our main goal where we broke that, but close enough where, you know, it could have went south. And I remember, like, that just being, like, a very big pivotal time in our relationship where, like, we gotta stay to this if we want to honor God with purity and maintaining this relationship the way that he intended to be. Mm-hmm. We have to stick to this, and we have to adjust. So we were trying to do, like, we had a schedule every 6 to 8 weeks.
But you're still in the next step.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Keep going, dog.
We would have a plan, which is the next step. I'm sorry. But we'd have a plan to be able to kind of pull on that. But the boundaries is key, because you think you're in a long distance, it's not as hard. But actually, when you see each other, it's probably even more difficult. Yeah. And so that's probably when the boundaries need to be set prior to you even meeting.
Preset them.
Yeah, before coming to each other. And somebody got to be stronger than somebody. Like to be like, nah, we're not gonna do this, and or like make pivots and adjustments.
Yeah. Sometimes it was her. It was like, hey. Sometimes it was me. It was like, hey. It was mostly her, but no, like it's super important to preset those boundaries, especially men. Like you are leading the relationship, and you don't want to have to put the onus on her to protect herself from you. That's never a situation that you want to put her in. And that's some things that I had to learn the hard way by setting boundaries, being intentional, having hard conversations. And when I tell you hard
Really
conversations,
hard.
like
Yeah.
both of us in our feelings.
We started from the jump with those hard conversations, and that's probably, and I think also like a lot of transparency. Like for Cleon, you know, once we started dating, he was all in. And for me, like, I was still getting my feet under me because I was like, I wasn't ready for this answer. So it was kind of like, there were certain conversations or certain things that he shared that were very vulnerable and transparent that I had to like build up the emotional capacity to handle and or like make sure that I'm responding in a way that is out of love. And so that was something that really helped, especially when it comes to the boundaries, because you want to have those hard conversations, but you have to be transparent. You have to be honest about what you're struggling with, or what mental or emotional things that can also hold you back. Because I had a lot of those that, you know, I had to share from the jump as well.
Yeah, super good. All right, number 5 is create a plan. This is, Onika kind of already dipped her toe into this one, but when you're long distance, you cannot just be like, all right, whenever we get together.
No.
Like, it does not work that way.
No.
You gotta set a plan, you gotta set a cadence, you gotta set some type of intentionality of how you will be together, what the relationship will look like, what communication will look like, what travel will look like. It's a lot of work, not gonna hold you. But I will say, I think this is one of the biggest benefits that we've had in preparing for marriage, because
that's true.
it was forced high level communication.
Yeah.
Like we could not afford to kind of just be like, well, if she says something or if he says something, or we'll figure it out when we get together. It was like, no, we have to figure out how to get together. So you got to make a plan. I think we kind of did like every 6 weeks.
6 to 8, yeah.
6 to 8 weeks. Every 6 to 8 weeks, one of us would travel to the other city to spend like a long weekend or something.
Or meet in another.
Or
meet in another state.
Yeah, we were wow.
Yeah.
We were really strategic. Like sometimes, like if she had something for work and I was doing something for family, like we would like one time we met in Charlotte. Atlanta, we met up at another point in time because we were crossing paths. We were like, okay, well, we'll put this on the calendar so we'll both be there at the same time. So yeah, that took a lot of like planning. We usually try to do it at least like a month out from the next one, so that we had time, or even 2 months out, so that we would have time to like book flights or whatever we needed to do to prepare financially. Now that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Long distance.
It costs.
Brothers.
It costs.
Financially.
Yeah.
It's pros and cons, because you don't have. I'm talking to the fellas on this one, ladies too, but especially
because you gotta get the upkeep and all the other stuff.
You were probably gonna be doing that anyway.
That's true.
Like you have to have a plan. There's pros and cons because you're long distance. You actually don't have the tapping of your wallet for dates and things like that. It's actually a lot more spread out. But the other side of that is when it does come up, it's usually a lot more that you have to spend for getting together. So budgeting, having that, she literally early on became a line item in my budget. And I tell you guys, I did not have a lot of money at all, like at all. So I had to be very intentional about how I was budgeting, setting some aside, preparing in advance, price shopping for flights. I took some budget flights. My back paid for it, but like I was like, this is what I can afford. So doing that and going the extra mile to show her that you're serious. Like showing like I will figure this out financially, and not only that, I'll make a plan and I'll be transparent about my plan, not trying to flex like I have something that I don't.
Yeah. And I think to add on to what you said about plan, it's not only traveling, it's also dating. Because we had to get really creative about date nights.
Yes.
And sometimes, like, Cleavon would, like, mail me something. Like, I remember the first thing he mailed me, like, 10 reasons why I love you. And it was, like, so, like, he actually handmade the things. Like, it was so sweet. But it was more stuff, like, when we did, like, date nights and we were doing Thai food, or he asked me what type of food I wanted, he would order it and make sure I got it.
Order on DoorDash.
Or, so it was, like... You have to get creative. Like we did a date night where we were learning how to use the chopsticks. But yeah, it forced us. Yeah, virtually.
This was on FaceTime.
And there was a time when it was our anniversary, and he dressed up in a suit and tie. Yeah. And we dressed up nice, and we had a nice meal over a candlelit dinner. Like we got really, really creative. Because we we grow so fast, and we wanted to show that in our relationship as well, to make sure that we're showing that our relationship is growing, but also the intentionality to plan ahead for some of those things. And financially, that could also be something that needs to be considered. Yeah.
All right. Last point. Point number 6 is, drum roll, cast vision. This, I think, was the most transformational of the points that we did in our relationship. We were very intentional about where are we going. Like neither of us were dating just because like we wanted company. Like if we wanted to do that, we wouldn't have did long distance. We could find somebody closer for that. So we were like, where is this headed? What's our intention? Where are we going? And I remember specifically one time we were together around the holidays going into the new year, and we we went to my office at work and like did a whole vision board basically, or like vision chart, you know, of like, okay, what are your goals? What are my goals? What are our goals together? Like, when do we think we'll hit them? Blah, blah, blah. What are we working on? What does that look like? And we cast vision for like the next year.
Or 6 months.
No, so that's the thing. We cast vision for the next year, but we hit all of our points within 6 months.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
And I don't think that would have happened if we did not cast vision in the first place. Because we circle back around, like, how are we doing on that? And we're like, we actually
hit all of it.
Because we already set the intention. Yeah. Not just, like, on the board, but because we did it outside of us, it actually resonated and catalyzed inside of us. So we started acting on it in our subconscious, like because we actually articulated it. Yeah. And we did it again, like the next 6 months, and we were on track for doing that because we're actually getting married and all this stuff that was actually on our. Because I think was one on our last board was engaged.
And me moving. And then like my job situation.
All of it.
Even though that's still in the works. But yeah, like it was a whole lot. It was a good amount.
So
maybe one day we'll show you guys a picture.
Yeah, we could show those receipts. We're not bluffing.
Not right now. We're still in the process.
But that's super duper important. Anything?
No, that was pretty good.
Which one do you think in the comment section you will or do struggle the most with? We actually want to hear from you because we know everyone's different, and we want to see if we could be able to help or maybe be a voice of sharing what we did in that situation. If you want to get more content about God and growth, which is pretty much what we really love to focus on,
pretty much.
Subscribe. We'll be posting for like the next 100 days or so. We're posting until we get married, pretty much. So if you want to
Lord
join
help
us on that journey, yeah.
Lord help
Jeez,
us.
this is a faith act, okay?
Yes.
Subscribe to the channel, share with a friend. We got to get to 50 subscribers to even be able to go live on YouTube at this point. So we would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button.